Hi all, and welcome back to the second instalment of my camper van build. In this part we will be concentrating on the flooring, rear unit and roof lining. Luckily all the side panelling had been carpeted by the previous owner, so this meant that was one less job that I had to deal with. The first job I had to do was remove the brackets which held the rear seats in place and lift the old flooring up. I decided to go for a laminate flooring which had a glossy finish. 2 packs was going to be more than enough to do the whole van. I used foam underlay which comes in these handy sheets and they're very easy to lay and cut. I doubled up on them so as to give it a little bit more insulation. Laying the flooring was relatively easy, and if you've had a little bit of experience in this kind of thing, I'm sure you won't find it that difficult. This whole project from start to finish took me about 2 hours. That's including laying the underlay, the little bits of trim that you can see. Once the floor was all down and in place, the next job would be to bolt the rock and roll bed in. Which you do by dropping the spare wheel, putting the seat in place, marking it up, and just drilling, making sure obviously that you're not going to go through anything that you shouldn't be going through. So the next thing I wanted to do was the roof lining. They consist of 2 panels which are held on with plastic clips. Very easy to come off. As you can see, the roof has already been insulated as well, so that was another job I didn't have to do. I bonded on the 2 original bits of wood which I'd removed from my roof onto a piece of plywood, making it one piece, which looked better because you don't have that trim that joins the 2 pieces together. So here you see the carpet all glued up, ready to be bonded onto the wood. This is what it looked like finished. This 4-way stretch carpet is really good and easy to put on. If you make mistakes you can pull it back and stick it back on again, and the finish is really good. Moving on to the LED lights now. Have to measure them up. Do bear in mind that when you're putting the lights in, you have to allow for any furniture that is going to go in the van and that it won't be in the way once it's all in place. I chose to use 12mm plywood to make the units. I recommend always testing the panel you're working on just to make sure it fits nicely so you don't have any issues later on. As you can see here, I've added a panel which fits under the seat. I'm also going to be cutting out a door, so there'll be more room for storage there as well. As you can see here, I fitted an overhead locker which I purchased off eBay. This was already assembled. All I had to do was recover it in a vinyl which will eventually match the rest of the furniture. I wanted to start off with the rear cabinet, which is the large traditional unit most vans have at the back. So I started with the face of it. I wanted the big tambour door, as you can see now. So at the moment just planning it out, lining it up and marking it up ready to cut. Once again, these are fairly easy to fit. I'd never fitted these before. I had no idea how to fit them, but they're quite easy. They just consist of 2 brackets either side, They're like a spiral plastic, which I made some brackets to hold it in place, and you just feed it in, and that's as simple as that really. So it wasn't that difficult at all. Here I'm just marking out the doors which are going to be on the panel as you open the tailgate. So I'm going to have two doors, one large one at the top and a small one at the bottom. So once you have all your panels cut out, the next step would be to cover them. I've gone for a vinyl type wood effect in black. Basically you peel off the back and you stick it on and it'll look like that. It's pretty good stuff, it's fairly cheap. I think it was about £10 a roll, and you'll get it from any good DIY store. So what you have here is a finished panel. It's all been vinyled up, has the T-trim moulding all fitted to it, hinges and handle. The T-trim moulding comes in various colours to go with whatever colour combination you're going to use. You'll need a router and a special bit which cuts a little slot inside the wood, and you just use a rubber mallet to tap it into place. Not that difficult, to be honest. This has all been my first attempt and I didn't find anything too difficult. The aluminium corners, you can see, again can be bought in different lengths, cut to shape. I thought that was quite a nice finish as well, and breaks it up rather than having it all one colour. Here you see the splashboard fitted. I use plastic perspex and a Dremel to cut out the window and the holes for the plugs. I sprayed the back with an aerosol in like a grey silvery kind of finish, just to match the rest of the furniture. So there you have it. That was the first part of the interior build. The next video will be about the wiring, as this will need to be completed before the next unit can go in. Thanks for watching, and look forward to catching up with you in the next one.